Hi, a huge welcome to Steve's Kitchen. Today we're going to make perfect nachos, or actually we're going to make the perfect nacho cheese sauce. Now, quite often when people make nachos, they'll just take some grated cheese like this, pop it over some corn chips, and that's great, but it will congeal and stick the chips together. What we're really looking for is something like a stringy mozzarella that doesn't congeal and set. So today we're going to make a perfect nacho cheese sauce. So we're going to start with a white sauce. It's basically a bechamel sauce. We'll put 15 grams, about half an ounce of butter, and equal amounts of flour. So this is just plain flour. And the reason we're doing it in the pan, we're cooking the flour off so it doesn't have that uncooked flour taste. I like to season also the bechamel with a little bit of black pepper. Traditionally with a bechamel sauce, you add a little bit of a milk at a time, mix it through until it thickens. But actually for this, I'm just going to add 1 cup of milk. It'll come together just fine. And we're going to bring this milk up to the heat while stirring until we get a nice thick white sauce. And when it starts to bubble and it starts to thicken like that, it's perfect. We're ready to start adding the cheese. Now, if it does split, you can use a whisk just to bring it together. It's not lost. Now I've grated 170 grams, 6 ounces of cheese. Now I know a lot of my American friends will use the orange American cheese, and that goes really well. I like the natural color of a mature cheddar. And if you've got a good mature cheddar, it'll be well seasoned. If it isn't, you might need to season a little bit more the sauce. So whilst the sauce is hot, we're just going to take that cheese. I'll probably add it in 2 parts, and I'm going to allow the sauce to melt the cheese down. Now that's quickly dissolved in there. We'll take the rest of the cheese and just pop it on top. So you can see now the cheese is pulling away from the pan. It is like a sort of mozzarella cheese, and we can just taste it now. Look how runny that is. Now's the time just to taste your cheese sauce. Be careful, it will be very hot. And if you want to, you can add a bit of seasoning. Now I'm going to grate a little bit of nutmeg, a little fresh nutmeg in there. But I am going to dice up some jalapeños, some little jalapeno chilies. Now if you haven't got jalapenos, you could just use dry red chilies. I'm going to mix that through my sauce. Now the beauty of this cheese sauce is you can make it ahead of time, you can store it and just heat it up in the microwave before you're ready to serve. Now earlier I took a little bit of diced chicken. You could actually use hamburger and just fry it up. I put some Cajun spices, so I've made this nice and hot and spicy. Now if you like a little meat in your nachos, you can layer this in amongst the nachos. What I like to do is to take about maybe half of my cheese sauce, add it in with the meat, and just coat that meat over so we get a lovely meaty sauce. Look at the colors coming off there now. That's the Cajun spice mix, and we're ready to plate up. Now I'm actually going to use this pan. It's still warm. It's got some beautiful gooey cheese in there. Now I happen to have these Doritos Southern Fried Chicken corn chips as well. And what I'm going to do is layer some in my plate or serving tray. In this case, it's a skillet. I want to take my Southern Fried Chicken sauce and just pour that over the top. Next, I've got that beautiful cheese sauce. This is like a Mexican lasagna. We're going to layer on some more corn chips, more of that Southern Fried Chicken. Now this is just the way I like my Doritos. You can mix it up, you can go with beef, you can go vegetarian. And then over the top with that beautiful gooey cheese sauce, a little bit of salsa, a little bit of sour cream or creme fraiche. So there you have it, perfect nacho cheese sauce. I'm going to dig into this in a moment. If you've been enjoying this series, the recent series of student meals, I'll leave a little link up here. You can get across and check out the chili and many other recipes we've done. In the meantime, I'm going to dip in and give this a try. Now that looks absolutely beautiful. And get a little bit of that salsa as well. Tuck in. Oh yeah. I'm going straight in for another one. These are absolutely delicious. Now, if this is the way you make your nachos, comment down below. I'm happy, excuse me. I'm happy to hear other ideas, whether you've got a better idea, whether you prefer the orange American cheese or a strong cheddar. Anyway, share the love, give this the thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.